I
So
thought this was the time for like a community call. Am I the only one
it
here?
is, but the thing is, a lot of people in the community just don't take advantage of it or show up for it, unfortunately. So I only do host them when somebody registers like you did to show up for the call. And so if
Okay,
there's just one, it's one on one. If it's two on one, etc. Right?
sure.
Um, and yeah, this call is mostly to answer any questions regarding high level. Like if you have any specific questions, like how to do something in high level, a feature in high level, a setting in high level, something along those lines, right? Um,
Okay.
I can't, I apologize for not showing up and canceling our meeting earlier than I did. I don't know if you saw the email that I sent you regarding that.
No, I was at the meeting just waiting.
I know, I apologize. So what I didn't tell you in one of the emails you probably received in order to schedule that call is that here in the community under this featured post that says start here,
Hmm.
you can see that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So right here I say like blah, 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 blah. It says after your site is completed, schedule your kickoff meeting with me. So basically, I don't like to do the kickoff call until your site is complete so we can go through the site together, make sure you understand it, understand how to access it, how to update it if you want to, some of the features to it, etc.
Right.
So all that's kind of part of the kickoff call. So that's why I don't like to do the kickoff call until after the site is done. And your site's not finished yet because I'm still working on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
so that's why I didn't meet with you today, but I apologize for not canceling it sooner. I just didn't see the notification about it until after it was already started.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe my DNS settings were wrong or something because the site wasn't pulling up.
No, no, I just haven't gotten it finished yet because it's just a work in progress because I have multiple people I'm doing this stuff for, So I'm just you're
Sure.
in the queue, so to speak, right?
Right.
But I
Okay.
will get it done probably before the end of, well, I'm almost certain I'll have it done before the end of the weekend. So,
Okay.
okay. So in the meantime, is there anything you wanted to specifically discuss or ask regarding anything in particular regarding high level?
Well, as far as the high level, I paid the dollar and
Mhm.
registered, but I never received the link to access it.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay. So
So
let
I haven't even been able to go to it. I've just been watching the videos.
Okay, so let me double check. Let me see what might have happened or where you're at. Yeah, I see your account here. So let me give you the login to it. Staff. Okay, probably sent the email to your contact at qxer.com. Do you have
Okay.
access to that email?
I do. I had,
Okay, so that's
uh,
where it should have sent it to you.
okay.
Um, Let me put this in the chat just so you have all the information. Okay, so this is where you're going to log in. User is going to be that. It's a password. I'll generate a new password to make sure that you can log in. So let me edit this. Advanced settings, password. Um,
Go ahead.
yep. So I'm going to put this in there and then I'm just going to make sure this is correct. Save it. Okay. All right. So in the chat now is where that's the login URL. And then that's your username, which is contact at qxer.com. And then your password. I just generated a strong password for you to use.
All right.
So if you
Let
do
me
find the
copy all
email
that.
with the access, that password will no longer be valid. This one is going to be the correct password.
All right. I copied and pasted it just in case.
Yep. And then, yeah, just make note of that. Put that in a notepad or
Yeah.
somewhere. You can find it. Where did my video go? Where's my video stuff? Okay.
Hey, I got a quick question on your four core service. Can
Yeah.
I talk about that?
Yeah.
Uh, if people had the AI agent or the AI employee, as you said,
Uh-huh.
what do they need the missed call text back for?
So, they don't. I mean, technically speaking, as long as the AI employee is enabled to pick up on every single call, right? The only way they would want the missed call text back, or they wouldn't need the missed call text back, is if or they would need the AI, or missed call text back would be if the AI is only enabled half the time for some reason or another, right? It wasn't a full-time agent. It wasn't working all the time, answering the phone 100% of the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or else they would just need to get two separate numbers or something. Well, that
Well,
wouldn't
they
make
wouldn't.
sense either.
So explain what your thought processes be. I mean, like, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking of a small business like a plumber or something who's
Mhm.
out there under house. I can understand having the missed call text back, but
Uh-huh.
then it seems like the AI agent or the AI employee is a step above. So if they have that, it can do the same thing, right?
Correct. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're implementing the voice AI agent, right, or you're offering that to them as a service or utilizing that as a service, they would not need specifically the missed call text back service individually, right? So
Okay,
this would be more for people that either primarily don't need or want the AI agent for some reason or another, is what the missed call text back would be of benefit to those folks, right?
I see. Okay,
Hmm.
so it basically comes down to whichever one suits them best.
Correct.
Okay,
That would be the best way to think about it or look at it. Yeah.
right. Okay.
Hmm.
hmm I got to tell you, I was excited running into your program because I've been dabbling on trying to start a digital marketing business for a year
Uh-huh.
and going back and forth and looking at different things. And when I got your promotion email and then looked at your video sales letter, it seemed to be exactly what I wanted. Just a simple package to sell to small businesses. Um, and that's exactly what I want to do. Something to get me off the ground and that has real value to it.
Right.
But
Uh-oh. Big butt.
this is coming from a newbie now. Once I signed up and got into the system, it is simply overwhelming with all of the stuff that comes out. It's hard to get or I feel that there should be a detailed step by step follow, do this, do that, an action plan by the numbers.
Yeah. And that's what I actually just started to do because I realized that from feedback I've had from some others in the membership. So under the learning tab, I added this roadmap, it's called, and I said when I published this particular course, it should have sent an email from the community, from AI agency insiders to you, alerting you of this. And if you didn't receive it for some reason or another, it might be in your spam folder or something else. I don't know. But the bottom line is inside of this program, is essentially what you want, paint by numbers, step-by-step approach, right? So I have a welcome message in there, then I have step-by-step directions initially to get you set up from the get-go, right? With what I send in that initial, pretty much one-on-one email that
Right.
describes like how to get your sub account through me, how, I basically walk through what the agency sales funnel website looks like and what it's about and why, how it benefits you, et cetera. Then I have step 3 here, phone number registration walkthrough, right? So if you want to set up or if you want me to set up your voice AI demo, receptionist demo, then you need to get a phone number, pick a phone number, and I kind of explain how to do that and where you can get access to more specific training on how to do that.
Hmm.
And then I have an overview of the community itself, right in here, the AI Agency Insiders community. So in case you're not sure what's all available to you inside the community, I give you kind of an overview of that. I talk about the 4 core services in the next video. So I kind of go a little more in depth with each one of those, so you kind of understand those at a maybe a little bit better than just spelling them out. Then I talk about the white label fulfillment services that I offer you guys, right? So if once you land a client, you want to specifically have me set those clients up on your behalf, then it steps you through that process. And then I talk about the bonuses that you receive as well. And then there's going to be some additional lessons in here or modules in here that are going to cover what the next steps would be, like how to basically the next ones in there are going to be like HighLevel insiders community overview, right? Because I offer you stuff for HighLevel specifically in the HighLevel insiders community that's available there, including the masterclass, right, for understanding HighLevel from top to bottom, as well as some SOPs. And then, of course, some of my marketing engines I've created for Marketing Engines AI. And then I'm going to have a video in here for Marketing Engines AI overview community, where you can specifically get information that just pertains just to those engines that I've created and new engines going forward that I'm going to be creating. And then I also will have an overview video about Microservice Insiders, which is the other core membership, my flagship membership I've had for 5 years, talking about micro automated services, which essentially is still very viable to sell small businesses on things like social posting as a service, monthly email newsletters as a service, blog posts as a service, stuff of that nature, right? Where it's pretty much you can create the assets one time or have the assets already done for you for a specific niche or industry, and then deploy them to as many clients as you can handle, get, whatever, right?
Right.
So those 3 videos are definitely coming in this as well. And then from there, I'll probably just do like another video that mentions like going through now like a client prospecting process, because you pretty much have all the other stuff kind of dialed in and figured out, right? You'll have your AI agency sales funnel website, you have your white label service fulfillment side of things where you don't have to really do the fulfillment yourself, and you'll have basically access to understanding inside and out HighLevel if you so choose to do so and want to get educated on that, etc. So then the very next thing in this whole world is really, how do I get clients? Where do I get clients? What's the best way to get clients? That sort of thing, right? And
Right.
that's where my cold to sold clients program comes into play, and so does my cold email SOPs training program. So both of those are pretty much the 2 primary focal points, I would say, to the program as far as client prospecting and such is concerned.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah,
Uh,
this is your roadmap essentially. This is your, hey, start here, go through this stuff, and it'll all just put everything into the right order and keep it from being too overwhelming, with too many bells and whistles and too many places to go. Even though some stuff is spread out a little bit between a couple communities, it'll still just make it a little bit easier to grasp all of what's included and what you should be focusing on, etc.
yeah, having all the other stuff was real nice. I mean, it's a lot to get.
Hmm.
I was just trying to focus on the basic fundamentals here to get started.
Yeah.
And I just looked, I did start this. I'm only 50% through it. So I guess I was on the right track.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, so this is yeah where it's at right here, and that's why I put even start here. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is where you guys got to go. Come
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
start here, so there's no confusion, hopefully no overwhelm. And if there is good, if you've got like, hey, I think this is great, I feel like it's missing this or that, please let me know, because I do want to make it better all the time, continually improving upon it and making it, for everybody to benefit from. So the more feedback I can receive for it, the better I can create things and or spell things out in a way that makes the most sense, so it's the most comprehensible and the most easy to follow, etc.
Right. Well, I
So
think when the first thing I got introduced to was the in that community, or let's see, AI Agency Insiders. I seen the last post you had made, and that you know you go from there to start looking around basically, and then I started on the Insiders Roadmap. That's right,
Okay.
and then I got the other stuff and just got sidetracked.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I probably should put a thing in there too. Yeah, and I think I'll probably add a video about like you're gonna get like all these emails because unfortunately when I create your membership for those other communities, like say microservice insiders, you get access to a ton of different trading programs and digital assets, et cetera, over there. And for every one of those things, it's a course. And so every time HighLevel does things when you create like a membership, you have to grant access to all these things typically, or at least to the community at some point. And so it likes to send an email for every single course that you have access to. So that's where you get inundated with probably like 30 plus
Yeah, I
emails.
got like 30 emails.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Yeah.
I'm gonna test something out and see if I can just give access just to the community. And if the community will still allow you to have access to everything under the learning tab without it sending individual emails per thing that's in there, you know, because
Oh
each
yeah.
community is slightly different. Like if I go to the HighLevel insiders one, let me just show you community HighLevel insiders. Yeah, let's do that. So like if once you have access or if you're over in this one, right? Let me close this. And I go to learning tab, you'll see like there's all of these courses, right? So there's a lot more now in this community versus the last community, right? So when you give access to this community, you're going to get access emails to every single one of these, right?
Yeah, I got them.
And then of course with microservice insiders, the same thing. So if I go into that one, I think I'm going to be logged in. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Might have to log in. Oh, good. If I go to learning, like this one's where you get access to all of these training programs and, it's quite a few more, right?
Right.
And yeah. And then did you already successfully sign up for Repostable, which is my application for social posting?
Nope.
Okay. So that was, I'm gonna send you the link to that again, or I'll just put it here in the chat for you, but let me just show you what that looks like. So this is my admin panel too. Let me just go to my business itself. So this is a social posting platform. This is where you can set up you can add clients, you can schedule out posts, and then there's all these image packs that can be accessible to you for free, included inside of the software itself that you can add to a client account or to your own and post. So let me scroll back down here to like some of the niches. So we have all these different niches like accountants and auto detailers and auto insurance agents. It's all alphabetical, right? And there's like
Right.
100 different niches or industries that you can apply these specific image packs to for their social media posting, right? And so this is where microservice insiders and micro automated services in general kind of came from originally, was the idea of creating content for social media for these small businesses that could be reused over and over and over again for different um, clients under the same niche or industry, right? So if we could have technically 100 accountant clients and they can all use the same images because these images are general, not specific to their specific practice, but in general to that particular niche or industry. And so, we would offer this as a service to small businesses for like $100 a month, post like 4 times a day on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, X, or Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., on their behalf, so that they had some content going out constantly. So this is kind of like their filler content, so to speak, not anything that they would personally push out on social media.
Now, is that something you set up for me if I get a client?
Yeah, so if you do get a client to sell this to and you want me to set this up for you, it is a included as a done for you service where I'll set it up for you. You just have to let me know when you get a client, what the specifics are about it. The thing that I do prefer is if you can have them sign up to their social media accounts themselves. So
Uh-huh.
like if I go into, let me just go into a client here, like my first one here, I'll just show you. So I go into this client, wait, client list. Let me log into that client, log in as the client. So if I go into the admin section and in settings, there is a spot here that's going to pop up in a second that allows me to connect to these like LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Google My Business, and Facebook, Instagram. And if you're not connected to those, if you click on them, they take you to, the dialogue that allows them to log into their account and then connect it to this software platform. So it's best to have them do that themselves at some point, just because they don't typically want to necessarily always give out their username, passwords to their social media accounts, etc. And if that's done, then the rest of the setup from my perspective to help you get them going is easy as pie, right?
Okay. Okay.
So that's the biggest hang up, is just getting them to log into their accounts essentially so that they're connected to this social platform or to the software platform for the social posting.
Do you have a little video showing them how to walk through those steps?
There is in the training section, I believe there is connecting social media accounts tutorial here. It might be a little bit outdated. It's from the exact specifics of things that may have changed when connecting to those social media platforms, but essentially you can watch that under the training and you can see how to do it, and you can pass that along if you want to a client.
Right.
Or if they can't for some reason, let me know. I'll help you figure out we can do that, where we can, or if we have to shoot a new video to show them how to connect to these different ones, we can do that too.
Okay.
But either way, it's pretty self-explanatory,
Okay.
not too difficult. Um, but anyway, that's yeah. So there's stuff in there, and like some of these videos, like I said, they're from 2021, and the platform had changed a little bit here and there, so some things aren't maybe up to date, but they're pretty close,
All right.
feature for feature. So.
Well, I'm sure I probably got all this. I just didn't register, and like I said, I was trying to focus on the
Yeah,
basics right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
Let
you
me
if you
put
send
the
it out as part of the package, I'm sure I have it.
yeah in the initial email I sent you that was titled AI Agency Insiders 2025. That email
Yeah.
has the link to register your account for this. It's a manual process. It's not automatic. You fill out a form. I get the information from the form, and then I come in here and set up your account, right? Let me just double check to see if you're not already in here for some reason or another.
I was just trying not to overwhelm myself, and like I said, just stick with the basics
Yeah.
because I really want to follow through with this.
No, I understand 100%. I want you to follow through with this because I want your success. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of doing all this is I don't do, yeah. All right, so I already did set this up for you. You did already
Oh,
register it. So there you are.
okay.
Okay. So you'll use the username password you had submitted, right? To me. And I don't remember what the password is per se without looking back at the email. But if you can't find it for some reason, just ask and I'll send it back to you. Okay.
I know what it is with that email.
Okay. So yeah, so then this is your account, right? You don't have any client lists in here yet. You don't have any image packs, like you don't have any customized ones. You'll need customized ones. The way you do the customized ones, just to show you real quick, you'll go to stock image packs here. And then, like I said, you'll see all these image packs. And then let's say you wanted to use the accountant's one, you would just click import and then you can rename it, but I usually just leave it alone and don't rename it, right?
Right.
You have some options here is what I'm saying that you can do with it, but you don't need to. All you have to basically do is hit save. And once you hit save, it's going to bring it into your stock image packs here. Oh, I'm sorry, into customized ones, my bad. Right here where it says accountants, and then it shows like 19 images right now. It's copying them over to your account, essentially, right?
Right.
So if I reload it, now it's at 44. Eventually it'll hit 180 because that's how many images are in each of these image packs, except for the ones that are like daily, which are 365 images. So those will be 365, of course, but these are 180 each. And so when it gets to 180, they'll be fully present in your account. And then you can set them up to schedule them for yourself if you wanted to. Or if you want to schedule them for a client, then you have to push them to a client account. But this is all stuff I can do for you. That's my whole point. Like you don't have to do any of this. Just get the client, sell them on it, get them to hook up their social, and then I'll take care of all of the ins and outs of the
Sure.
software.
Okay.
So, but I'm just kind of demonstrating, what this would look like or how it would be for you as well. So we're almost there. 180 should be there after the next reload. There we go. 180, right? And so if I click edit, then I see the image packs. I still see all the images that are here, right? For the specific images that can be pushed. And then what's cool too is literally we can hide them, or we can, so if we want to hide it, like it'll ask, you want to hide it? Yeah. Then it'll say it's been hidden. And so it's now grayed out-ish. Like, so it's not, this one won't be posted ever. If you want to unhide it, you just click unhide, okay, and it brings it back. So you don't have to delete any images, but you can hide certain ones if like a client was like, I don't like that one image, or I don't like what it says, or
Right.
that. So there's all kinds of cool functionality inside of this software that is pretty robust. Yeah. Any
Very
questions?
nice. That's very nice.
You're welcome. So, yeah, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. Like I said, just I'm going to keep adding some more modules to that one course in the roadmap, right, for AI Agency Insiders. So that will always be like your path to get the absolute most out of what I've got to offer as far as the whole membership is concerned, right?
Uh-huh.
So that'll be your golden ticket, so to speak, to stay on track and know where you should be at and what you should be doing, what you should be focusing on, etc.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Yep. Hey, on the reviews, when a customer leaves a bad review for a client,
Mm-hmm.
I know it goes to uh, a page before it gets posted, like on Google. But at that point, does the customer have the option of bypassing it and pushing it straight to Google?
They don't through the review. If you're talking about the AI reviews engine, reputation review engine that I built for that to intercept reviews and any negative reviews and such,
Right. Yep.
they can, by just if they copied it and then decide to go to Google itself and then paste it there or whatever, you know what I mean, or rewrite it. They
Right.
absolutely can. We can't control that 100%. But they don't have the option if they're going through the pages that we built for them. They don't have the option to post it without, if it's below a certain standard, right?
Right.
So if it's below, we set that standard based on whatever your client wants to set as the standard. So if it's got to be a 5-star review before it gets posted publicly, then anything below a 5-star review is going to be intercepted and sent to the business owner.
Right.
If it's if the criteria is 3 stars or greater, well, then 3 stars or greater, they can publish it publicly, right?
All right.
And so what happens is it doesn't automatically publish it. They have to it goes to a page that encourages them to take that review and post it, and gives them an opportunity to basically take it and post it over on one of the platforms, or takes them directly to Google or wherever it is that we want to take them to. However, the client wants it to work, basically.
Right.
So it's
Okay.
kind of flexible. We have a couple options there.
All right.
Yeah. And it's about trying to intercept the negative ones so that A, they don't get posted publicly, and then B, the business owner can address those issues and hopefully turn an unhappy customer into a happy customer, and then get a better review from them after they fix the problem.
All right. And your basic 4 core services of what is like what's the charges for that for a customer?
Okay, so like with missed call text back, I would typically charge somewhere between 49 and 99, or $50 and $100 a month to run that for them. And it all depends on what you think you want to charge based on who the client is, how big of a client they are, et cetera,
Right.
Then when it comes to like the reviews AI, I would charge somewhere in that ballpark of like 99 to 199. Usually what I like to do is do a deal where if they decide to take and usually the voice AI agent's a separate deal, but if they were to take like missed call text back, conversation AI, and reviews AI as a package, let's say I would normally charge $199 per on each of those. Even the missed call text back, you could charge as much as $199 as far as the feature is concerned, because it's that invaluable usually to a small business. That would normally run them then a la carte $600, right? And so
Right.
what I would do is discount that 100 or 200 and say, well, I'll offer all three of those services to you, for, together as a package deal for either $399 or $499 or something like that, right? Where you're giving them a discount savings. And of course, you can play with these numbers any way you want, and I'm just giving you some of the strategy behind it, right?
Sure.
And then, of course, when it comes to the voice AI agent, since it's so, I mean, it can literally replace an entire call center, inbound call center, right? Not an outbound, because we can't do outbound calls with it yet, but it can replace an entire inbound call center, right? So any type of, like I have a business acquaintance who has a son who owns a bunch of, HVAC companies out east, and he has an inbound call center that he pays. It costs him roughly $10,000 a month to run.
Wow.
Okay. And so with a voice AI agent running for him instead, he can literally pretty much eliminate 90+% of the workforce in that call center and or the call center entirely and save roughly $10,000 a month, right? So therefore, again, depending on the size of the company, what kind of company it is, what they're using inbound calls for, how much inbound call volume they have, et cetera, that value of what that particular service is to each business varies tremendously, right? And so the typical standard number I like to charge small businesses to set that up is like a $1,500 setup fee with roughly a $500 to $600 per month fee to run it for them. Okay. But if I was dealing with somebody like I just mentioned, and they had a whole call center, and that call center is costing them 10K or more a month, and this is going to eliminate that, then the value becomes even greater to them. So therefore, I could get away with probably charging them as much as 5,000 to 10,000 as a setup fee, and then charge them even a higher monthly fee, maybe close to $1,000 a month to run it for them, right, at scale.
Right. Yeah.
So those numbers can, vary, like I said, depending on the clientele you have.
Now, is there a cost to me every month for the
So
AI?
yeah, so it depends on how you want to do that, right? So if it's initially, I would never go. So HighLevel offers two ways about this, right? One way is about like on the inbound calls with the AI, it's about 26 cents a minute. Okay. But they also offer a deal where you pay $97 a month and it's 100% unlimited, like unlimited amount of call minutes for the AI. So
Per bot?
yeah, well, per HighLevel account, sub account. So like if you have, let's say you have one sub account for a business and they've got, I don't know why they would, but they have multiple inbound call numbers, right? You have multiple HighLevel numbers inside of your account, and you had a bot associated with each one of those numbers. It would still just be $100 for that account, regardless of volume of numbers associated with agents, meaning AI agents or voice AI agents in particular, right? So it's just a one-time fee per sub account, right? So, but again, before I would go to the $97 a month route or whatever that cost is, it might be 197. I can't remember. The 97 might have been a summer special or some kind of deal. Then I would stick with the per minute thing first to see how many minutes they're eating up per month or per week or something before I jumped into because it might be better off just charging per minute, and then it's not costing you as much, right?
Right.
So yeah, so you're baking those numbers kind of into your numbers, right? You're kind of assuming and taking on the responsibility of whatever HighLevel is going to charge me to run this AI agent. I'm eating that, but I'm charging my customer indirectly for that. That's why I have a service fee of XYZ, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that's usually the best way to do it, is to do it where you keep it as simple as possible for the client. And the best way to do that is to basically give them a turnkey solution like that, where you'll say, hey, I'm offering you this amazing opportunity to do like test out my voice AI receptionist demo. Let me know what you think. You love it. Okay, great. Let's get you started. This is how much it is. You get it all set up like through me. I set it all up for them, right? And then you don't even turn over the keys to them. Like you don't give them access to the HighLevel account or anything like that, specifically if they don't want to use it for anything else anyway, right? And they don't need to know about it, et cetera. They just know you're providing this amazing turnkey service of having their very own voice AI receptionist answer the phone for them. And the more simplified and simple you keep it, because again, they're business owners, they're busy in their day-to-day activities. They don't really care about HighLevel. They don't care if it was written on XYZ software. You know what I mean? And they don't necessarily need to have access to the software because it'll just present some issues and problems, maybe perhaps down the road because they now get involved in it and they're like, I don't understand why this doesn't happen or why how do I do this inside the platform, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And
Right.
so you just want to eliminate that as much as possible. Same with the cost pricing. That's why I don't like to pass on, and I say this because I don't like to pass on like those ancillary costs to the client because again, I don't want them to wonder, well, why do I paying you $300 or $400 a month or $500 a month or whatever, and I have to pay for XYZ and emails, text messages, AI costs, etc. That it just doesn't feel good or
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
just try to keep it under that umbrella of whatever your fee is, and just some months you might profit more, some months you might profit less, depending on the volume of calls they may receive, or if you end up putting them on that one-time flat fee or you don't, etc.
All right.
Yeah. So that's all. I mean, just trying to keep it real, as real as we can
Well,
be.
I mean that's exactly what I'm trying. I'm just trying to come up with a basic package that every small business could use, which I think the AI employee, the auto reviews, of course, maybe the web bot if they use their website, but maybe something else just to maybe draw a few customers to them. Just something to show them that the system works for them, and just have a basic price for that basic package to get my foot in the door,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you, most businesses I know, they all cheap. They don't want to spend nothing.
No, I know, and that's true, absolutely true, and that's why I decided it was now 6, 7 years ago in 2018 when I first got started doing social posting as a service and started doing these micro automated services. Was the big reason was because I would get clients that I charged to do everything under the sun digital marketing wise for them, new website, SEO, Facebook ads, etc. And I'd say, okay, all that's going to be 1,500 a month, 2,000 a month, 3,000 a month, whatever the number was, and a lot of them would take it on initially without batting an eye back then. But then the problem was 2, 3 months down the road, they're churning on me because they're like, I'm not getting enough ROI for the money I'm spending with you. And so it was feast or famine all the time. It was like, okay, I'm either healthy with several clients paying me all at the same time with all, per month with these higher price points, or I was broke because nobody was paying me anymore because they all churned on me around the same time and I had to fight and find all new customers and
Right.
clients. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I could discovered an opportunity to do something where it was scalable and I could sell it for a lot less at $100 a month, $200 a month, a lot less like no's, a lot more yeses, and a lot of people never canceled, just like that whole Netflix subscription mentality where it's like it was so dirt cheap at $7.99 originally that if you signed up for it, you didn't cancel it because it's more of a hassle to cancel than to keep,
Right.
And that same
Yep.
kind of theory still applies to this day when we talk about doing service, you know, marketing services like this that are software driven, assets driven, et cetera, where you're not really giving specifically them an ROI based on what they pay you. You're not promising them like if you do this, I'm gonna, your business is gonna grow and do this because we're just not in that business anymore, right?
Yeah.
We're more in the business of let's streamline processes and create systems that work nonstop around the clock for you and save you time and energy and or money, right? So, and then charge them a lot less money that they can accept and say, okay, it's affordable now, right? And they're not
Right.
churning on you in 3 months. Hopefully, they're staying with you for a year, 2 years, longer, forever.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I figure if I could get them hooked on just a basic thing, all the other things could be extra. They can take them or not take them. Like the Google My Business and all that stuff. But that core package is something I'd like to develop that I felt that everybody must have. Like I think the AI employee is awesome. I
Yeah,
mean, I see real value there.
yeah.
And of course the auto reviews, that's a great thing that I feel that every business must have. So I'm
Mhm.
just trying to find a couple little things to go with that to come up with a ground package.
Yeah. And that's what I would start with. I would just start with those three primarily, right? And
Yeah,
I would just go with that. And you can also, I mean, obviously there's a lot of small businesses that still have really crappy websites, unfortunately, too, from like the early 90s, early 2000s.
right,
Uh, that my AI local sales funnel website engine is also a very good solution for them, right? It's very simple. It's a one-page deal. It can be set up very quickly inside a HighLevel. You can make it so that you can determine whatever that call to action that the website visitor should do, right? So it can be book an appointment or it can be call the business or whatever. So it could be called the AI voice agent, right? And it just gives them all the pertinent information that a end user on the website, a consumer needs in order to make a buying decision, right? Whether or not they think this is the business that's going to help them get what they need done or whatever it is, right? And
right.
so
Okay,
that's a great option. And if you do set that up, you can do a couple of things with that price point wise too. You can set it up for, you can include it like a bonus, like a freebie for them signing up for the other three things. You could sell it on its own, and you could just charge a monthly maintenance service fee for running the software for it and such, and just charge them $99 a month with no setup fee whatsoever. Or you could even sell it to them for a service fee up front, like a setup fee, like 500 to 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever, to build it for them, right? And then still charge them a monthly like web hosting slash maintenance fee on top of that, right? So there's all kinds of ways to position that, but that could be another thing you can offer specifically for businesses that have kind of a clunky website that just doesn't make a lot of sense, or it's just too old, or whatever it is, right?
right. Okay.
You can look at that here. Let me pull it up. I'll show you the example. I think it should be up and running. Local sales funnel website.com. Hopefully I don't need, yeah. So this is kind of what it looks like, right? It's just very simple, very basic. We have basically just this quick, easy menu at the top. We have their office phone number. If they have a fax, we can add it there. We can have their address there. We can have a call to action with some kind of hero text, a hero image, right? And then if we click on like our team, it shoots you down to the team itself. And it's like meet my staff. And I just have these three sample guys here. And then like our services is like, here it is. Like for this is a real estate agent version, right? But it could be for any niche. But it says
Right.
like I specialize in, well, you just change it to we specialize in, whatever the three things or whatever they do, right? And there's always call to actions along the way down the page. And then it's got our location. So this could be, multiple locations. It could be set up where it's two, three places, or if it's just one, it's one. And then there's a blog that I typically set up on WordPress. So this would be a separate website that would be more for SEO purposes, right? So there'd be some articles posted in that blog, and that would be for basically SEO reasons, like I said, to drive traffic through organic search to the business owner itself. It's not necessary, but it's just a bonus or a perk that I would add to it. And you know, and then you have your testimonial section down below, and that's pretty much it. So that's it. Just basically gives you the very basics, right? And the first part was here that I missed underneath the hero was meet the agent, or in this case it'd be like meet the owner or whatever of the business.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then any new visitors, it says start here. So if they click on book, schedule your appointment or start here, it would take them to a second page where we basically remove the navigation of the site. And we basically say, here's how to get started with us. And then it tells them the simple steps of what they need to do to take action to get the result they're looking for. Right. In this case, it's like, call our location, schedule an appointment, or click here to schedule. If they click here, it opens up the calendar and they can schedule through the calendar. or they can do the tap to call here or whatever it is, right? This could be the voice AI agent again or whatever. And then we have the FAQs, right? So we're trying to overcome any objections that the end user, the website visitor may have, a consumer that wants to know more about how the business may help them or may not be able to help them, et cetera, right? And then we just have the location again at the very bottom. And that's it. It's a very simplistic setup, but it's set up so that when a website visitor visits the website, they don't get confused and overwhelmed with like too many things and too much information and all kinds of nonsense that basically leads to bounces where people are like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to do. I just don't feel like, whatever, overwhelmed.
Right, right.
So
Okay.
this is what a local sales funnel website looks like and how it kind of operates. And it's very simple, but it's highly effective because we're really just driving them to take that one specific action when they get here, whatever that specific action means to that business, right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Good, good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to jump back into training then and keep going forward.
Great. Great. Yeah. So I know this turned into a little more than just all about HighLevel, which is fine. But I'm glad I could answer your questions and help you out and get you on the path because, like I said, a lot of this information is important to your feedback is just as important to me as me giving you direction, right? And so I appreciate you coming and explaining where you're at, where you want to be, and how things are, and things that you may have missed or where I can help and all that sort of thing. So.
Well, I'm the typical person that buys a program and it, for some reason, one way or another, never works out. And um, I've looked at a couple other ones, but I'm to the point now to where I'm getting ready to retire from the fire department soon. So I really want to get this off the ground and running and do this because I don't want to just do nothing once I retire.
Yeah, no, I get it. Totally get
So
it.
I really, I mean, I can't stress that enough. Really want to make this work.
Yeah,
So
and that's why.
I'm gonna put in the work.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome because I love to hear that because that's what, like I said, I build all this stuff and do all this stuff because I want folks like you to have success and be successful. Like, and that's why I continually try to upgrade and make things better and offer more of my own time and personal help, whether it's meeting and talking like this or it's building your own site for you. Like, I don't have help that does this for me. I do it all myself
Right.
because I want to be hands-on and I want to make sure this stuff gets done right, etc. And then like it's important for me to like that's why I want to offer and make things as smooth as possible as far as like offering to set up your clients for you once you get a client. Like I can't go get your clients for you because if I'm going to do all that, I might as well do it for myself only
Sure.
and not
Yeah.
help you, right? Because I can't.
Yep.
So I have to have you have to do something.
Right.
And
I agree with you.
that something is like maybe door knocking, cold calling, cold emailing, doing something to get the clients or build the prospecting list of some sort, right?
Right.
But after that, I'm happy to do the rest of it for you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you've done the hardest part of it. To me, the hardest part is getting the clients. It always has been, always will be.
Right.
But if you get those clients, the rest of it, I want the rest of it to be hands off easy for you guys. That's the whole point. That's what I'm trying to say. I
Well,
want it
that's
to
why
be
I'm trying
that
to come up with that basic package so that it's something simple that I know I can handle and that I know will get done and shows value for the client.
yeah.
Uh, you know, and then I'll go from who knows where from that point. But I just want to focus on that, and hopefully that'll get me off the ground and going.
Yeah, and that gave me a great idea. I think I'm going to add a module to that course that start here roadmap course that's going to be focused on pricing and packages, right?
Yep.
Because I do think that's important. That is probably something I kind of tend to skim over because in my mind that's easy. Like again, it's when you know this stuff so well, it's hard sometimes to remember other people don't think like I think and don't realize I can't realize what's missing until someone gives me feedback like that.
Sure.
Listen,
Yep.
I'm trying to think, how can I package this? What's the best pricing model? What should we use? You know what I mean? Because I always assume everyone understands that already and gets it and knows what to do and knows what to sell it for, etc.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
if
not
you
true.
ever want to know another perspective, you just ask me because I'm starting from the newbie position. They don't know crap.
Well, that's awesome because I
So,
might hit you up
you know,
for some more stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, also, do you mind if I share this video? Because I did record this session. Number one, I'll share it back to you if you want access to it. But do you mind if I post this on YouTube?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate that. Just because I think it might be beneficial to others to see what these interactions are like and such. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, and I want to see that. I want other people, specifically in our community, to see these types of videos that do not take their time to come and visit me and talk to me and ask me questions and really move forward with this stuff. You know.
Hey, just the fact that you're on the call with me right now shows me I'm on the right path.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, Robert. Well, it was great talking to you. Great meeting you in person. And yeah, as soon as your site is finished, I will send you an email and let you know. And then we can hop back on another kickoff call, so to speak. Hopefully, you got some more questions under your belt after
Yep.
going through some more training stuff. And then we'll hopefully iron those out. And then we'll get you moving forward with getting those clients lined up. Okay.
Sounds great. Can't wait.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right.
All
Thank you,
right.
Kerry.
Have
Appreciate
a
it.
great, happy 4th of July.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.